So Anna Griffin is just known, she's a rock star when it comes to the stationery world, the quilting world, the scrapbooking world, the card making world, and she makes these incredible exclusive designs just for you at HSN. You can't find them anywhere else. And she has done something that absolutely nobody has ever done before. And I want to give you a basis of how this works. Most of us who watch HSN and watch the crafting shows, we're familiar with what dies are. You run them through a machine and they cut out a beautiful pattern. So that's an Anna die. Most of us are familiar with what an embossing folder is. What it does, it adds texture. It embosses or adds a pattern to paper. And Anna offers plenty of those, and they're great. And most of us are pretty familiar with stamps. Imagine if you had one die that did all three in one pass. It cuts the die, it gives it texture, and it stamps a design in it. Wouldn't that be incredible? And no one has ever done anything like this before until now. You are looking at 21, this is half of the story, 21 of the most amazing dies I think we've ever offered, because these groups, these two, are gonna be able to do 3 jobs all in one pass. Saves you time, saves you a ton of money, and saves you a ton of space. Also, because you are going to be stamping with them, Anna has included 8 gorgeous pigment stamp pads you're gonna use with the collection in a beautiful box. And finally, because this is a really new, exciting concept, you're not gonna get instructions, but you're gonna get access to her online finishing school, where she will take you through step by step brilliant ways to be able to use these. You'll really understand how you use them and then how you can take them to that next level. So let's get the creator on the air back with me again. Miss Anna rejoins us. And Anna, thank you for doing it. I think this is an absolutely brilliant concept.
Thank you, Suzanne. I think of all the hosts today, you understand this the most because you love to craft. You are present to how much time it's going to save you, how much money it's going to save you, and just the future of this technology for what it means to craft. I have been very fortunate in my long career of designing products to be an innovator and the first to many different things like this. We made the first decorative file folder. We made the very first wedding invitation kit in a box, and now we have the very first impression die, meaning a die that will emboss and die cut, but also has a special coating that will take a beautiful rubber stamp ink impression and push it into the paper to make it look like letterpress printing. So we've just elevated the experience of what it's like to die cut, what it's like to stamp a die, and we've given it to you in such a beautiful palette of color and design, 21 different impression dies to create really beautiful, extraordinary greeting cards, gift tags, gift packaging. However you want to use these, you're going to be able to put together. This is like even impressing the ink into metallic papers. So they're very versatile. They have the ability to blind emboss and apply the ink, to the surface. And let me just show you really quickly. So pretty little card right here, starting with just a little note. And this impression die is done with the taupe ink, and you can barely see that here. It's very light, but this impression die has done the blind embossing. And then when you go back with ink, right, you do the blind embossing, you add the ink to the die, you get this incredible embellishment. And what's so neat about that is how pretty it is. I always, as a designer, when I'm working with cards, what's really important to me when I was stamping cards was that I always had a hard time with the beautiful 4-color embellishments and the impression, the stamp dies, like they didn't go together. This has this really vivid technique where it's gonna go great with all the things in your craft room because you're impressing the color into the paper, or you're blind embossing it, or you're using it like a printing press and pressing it into a piece of colored paper. It's incredibly versatile and very innovative.
Yeah, it's again, it's very, very smart. And for me, I'm all about value. I mean, as a crafter, I'll save, 2 inches of a piece of ribbon going, I'm using this someday. This is incredible. Imagine getting 21 dies, 21 embossing folders, and 21 stamps. How much would you spend for that? Super high quality, and then where in the world do you put it all? She takes all 3 concepts and puts them together, and that's what makes this in one pass so brilliant. Now, you can use them a couple different ways. So Anna, can you explain, you don't have to do all 3 at once. Can you tell everybody how you can maximize these?
Right. Well, I'm going to take the impression die and I'm going to actually ink the die. So I'm just using the fresh green and I'm pressing it into the die. And you can see just a little halo of ink, nothing important, right? And we're going to take our die cutting machine. I'm using our Empress Mini, and the die goes just face down on the paper. Now, we can ink this little football at the same time because I think that's, it's really fun to do multiple tasks. I love to multitask as a person, and so I'm going to just put that also face down on the mat. Now I'm going to run them through our little Empress Mini, and we're going to get the perfect impression. So we're creating an embossed and die cut embellishment, right? Plus we're actually stamping the design. So when you're looking at what happens with each impression, you see how that letterpress printing occurs. And so it's so beautiful because now the ink is not, we don't have to wait for this to dry, and then we can clean this up with just a wet wipe. We're not actually having to position a die around a stamped image. We're not having to have a good stamping day because we are now creating consistent, even results with the impression dies. So I actually have some of these already set up for you to show you how that blind emboss works. And so we have this beautiful paper today, which was the handsome multi-foil cardstock. And this is the beautiful brown. All right, so it's going to go face down into that brown metallic, and I'm going to have gorgeous blind embossed embellishments just in that one pass. Now for this is where the rubber meets the road in crafting. When you can get this kind of beautiful dimension, like this looks like something that was professionally made on a printing press, something that, is something that you paid for the die cut to be made, right? I made you like a set of 120 of these. That's what it looks like. But you can it'll never wear out. You're going to be able to use this on just about any of your projects, and putting this together, adding the ink to the die, we're now creating a whole different level of what I think, if I look forward into the future, right, this is, we've been talking about this all day. This is ahead of its time. And, what that means to people is that, hey, we did it first. And that's something that we do all the time in the craft world. We bring you the highest quality materials. We give you the most beautiful, in good taste design. And when you're looking at what we can create with this set, now this is creativity on steroids. You are able to mix and match in a way that, that's my personal preference, to have all 4 corners and a beautiful icon. But if your style is more simple, this is going to work for you as well.
Okay, so guys, just a little quick update. We also have an auto ship with this, and a lot of people jump on that auto ship because, again, they're limited. We don't bring in as many auto ships as we do the single ship. But what it is, you're going to get a series of shipments. The first one's going to be in September. The ink pads alone are stunning. Look at that color palette, and it all works back with any of your Anna Griffin holiday card kits that we have. It's going to be so much fun. The next one's going to be in December. And so you can see we have a lot of Valentines. And again, look at those sweet, wonderful ink pad colors. And the last one's going to be in March. So there's March. These are $52.95 a piece. You can cancel it after you get the first one. You say, hey, I don't want the rest. That's fine. But again, look at those beautiful, beautiful dies. And I want to explain it one more time so you understand. It's like getting 21 of Anna's dies, getting 21 of Anna's folders, and getting 21 of Anna's stamps, all now in just one die. It is a absolutely brilliant concept. So it's not, this would take me 3 different passes. Now with one pass, I get 3 different effects, which is so cool. If I don't want to ink it up, I don't have to do that either. So it's going to give you so much versatility. And I really do hope you appreciate the design she's created, because it covers everything. It can be as feminine as you want, or it's really lovely to see more masculine designs, because a lot of times I got a lot of guys in my life and I got to make a lot of guy things and guy cards. So it's nice that you have very feminine and you have a little bit of masculine combined together. Plus you're getting those 8 beautiful pads of ink. And whenever Anna does anything, it's just going to be top of the line. So 8 stunning colors that will go back to the traditional, beautiful Anna palette that we love. You get the box and you get finishing school. Also, let me show you a couple items that work back to this before they are completely sold out. So I want to show you this. The first item, it's a 48-piece foil card set, cardstock card set, plus you get all the envelopes. That is a perfect match back